All right, so today we are going to actually write our letter. Yesterday, you should have come up with some reasons why you wanted to thank somebody and pick which of those people you wanted to thank. You missed yesterday's lesson for brainstorming, and you need to go back and watch today's lesson yesterday's lesson before you do today. Otherwise, I don't know how you're going to sit and write if you haven't even thought about what you're going to write about. I guarantee your letter won't be very organized. And then today we're going to get into what's on the screen, which is writing the letter and including those sections, the date, the greeting, the body, the closing, and the signature. So what that's going to look like if we go back to her video. So her example has the things labeled. Let me find all those labels. No, go back. Okay, so the date is going to be up at the top. Then we're going to put a greeting, which is always dear and the person's name. So if you picked your mom, you can put dear mom. You don't have to put like dear Cindy and put her actual name. Put whatever you call that person. Then the body is just going to be the stuff that you actually say, the reasons you're thanking them. And at the end, we're going to close. And if it's your mom or your family members, you can say love. Like I chose to write mine to Mrs. Kling, so I'm not going to write love. I'm going to write sincerely. Another thing you can write is yours truly or your friend. There's different ways that you can close it, and then you put your signature, which I'd like it to be your cursive signature. But if you don't know how to write that, we'll work on that. All right, so we are going to, I'm on my writing, so I have right here marked on my page what I'm going to say to Mrs. Kling. I'm going to thank her for these things. But I can flip back and forth from this page to my next page. I'm going to write my my draft in here, and then tomorrow I will copy it to my nice paper. So I'm going to start on a clean page, and I don't need to relabel it because we had already labeled thank you letters. So, and I don't think we put the date on that. Whoopsies. So go ahead and put today's date on, which I always do these ahead of time, so I don't know what today's date is. I believe it was 10/7, I think. So the date needs to go up in the corner, 10/7/2020. If that's not the date, then write whatever date that it is. Okay, so if we flip, I'm going to keep flipping back and forth from the other ladies to mine. So we got the date in the corner, and now we got to put the greeting. So we are going to do, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. I didn't click on that either. Sometimes my computer does not behave. All right, so we are going to go and put the greeting. So I'm going to write, Dear Mrs. Kling. Now you're just watching right now. Don't write your own yet. And then there's always a comma. So you'll do the date, you'll write the name and the comma. Then the rest of it is going to be whatever I had brainstormed. So I'm going to thank her for getting the crayons and supplies. So I'll start with that. Thank you for everything you do. Now, if I just leave it like this is pretty generic. That means I could literally give this to anybody. It's not personalized to Mrs. Kling. I could give this to Springer. I could give this to you. I could give this to your parents because everybody does things. So I need to give the specifics. When I asked for crayons and other supplies, I'm going to put whenever I ask. It's okay if you cross things off because this is your draft. We're going to write it onto a nice one to actually give to the person. Whenever I ask for crayons and other supplies, you always help me. Okay, so that's the first thing. And that was just one sentence. That's okay. There's not like a specific amount of things that you need to put in here, but I'm going to also put help with students. You are always helping. I'll put everyone since she hasn't had to help me a lot this school year, but everyone with students who need a break. That is so important. exclamation point. And then the last thing I said I wanted to tell her was about her singing. You might not know this, but I'm going to put love in all caps, even though normally you wouldn't do that, but I'm trying to really stress that word. I love when you come down the hallway singing. It always makes me smile. All right, so that's the body. That's what I wanted to say, the body of my letter, and that's all the things I had brainstormed about saying, okay? So now I just need to do, let me flip back to the video. I need to put in my closing, which I said I'm not gonna do love, and then my signature. So what would probably make more sense, since I'm not gonna say to Mrs. Kling love, what would make more sense to say? I could do sincerely. I could do yours truly. I think sincerely makes the most sense if it's a friend. But like Mrs. Kling and I get along really well. We're not best friends, so I wouldn't put like love or yours truly. So sincerely, and then a comma goes there. You have two commas, one after their name and one after you say sincerely or love. And then I will sign it with my name. If you can do yours in cursive, that's best. If not, you can do it in print. I do have, in your packet, you have your name in cursive. I put that on a paper, but don't just do that ahead of time. That's actually each day when we're practicing cursive, there will be next week. There will be some days where I ask you to trace and write your name twice and then do a page out of the book. So don't do that ahead of time, but you can find that paper and look and see what it looks like. So this is my letter. I want you to complete your entire letter today just like this. Date, greeting, body, closure, and signature. And then tomorrow we're going to edit, revise, and we're going to put it onto our nice fancy paper so that if you want to actually give it to your person, then you can. All right, get busy, writers.